So Trump's chief strategist, Steve Bannon, is now fired, or he resigned, or however he left, he's gone. And a lot of people are wondering what exactly are his next steps, because he's often the guy who is credited as being the real president, the brains behind Trump, the guy who pushes the racist ideology and the white nationalist ideology to steer Trump in a direction that a lot of people feel has not really represented the country in a good way. But The Hill reported that Bannon has reclaimed the title of executive chairman for Breitbart and directed the outlet's Friday editorial meeting, the website said in a statement on Friday. Okay, so Bannon is back at Breitbart, which really isn't all that surprising. But the question is now, what direction will Breitbart go in? Since Bannon was apparently fired, will they criticize Trump or will they defend him? So, one of the first indications of where they might go came from a tweet by a Breitbart editor. So shortly after the news of Bannon's firing, Joe B. Pollock tweeted #war, which would appear to indicate that Breitbart is ready to go at war with the Trump administration. But then Bannon began talking to news outlets, so this came out. Bannon said President Trump's administration would be much more conventional in the wake of his departure. The Trump presidency that we fought for and won is over, he said. We still have a huge movement, and we will make something of this Trump presidency. But that presidency is over. Okay, so here he appears to admit that he did have a major influence on Donald Trump, and that era, the Steve Bannon era, is over. But that doesn't mean that his influence on the presidency will stop. So in this next quote, he gets a little more specific. If there's any confusion out there, let me clear it up. I'm leaving the White House and going to war for Trump against his opponents on Capitol Hill, in the media, and in corporate America. So if you notice, there's some mixed messaging here. Now, this is how I'm interpreting it. I believe these comments that he just made, saying that he's going to go to war for Trump and fight his battles on Capitol Hill and the media, I believe this whole quote is a message to Trump. He wants Trump to see this. He wants Trump to believe that Breitbart is on his side. And the reason he's doing this is because Bannon wants Trump to listen to Breitbart, listen to the direction they want to go. So by acting like they're buddies, like, hey, Trump, I'm on your side, I'm going to fight your battles for you, he's essentially telling Trump, you should read Breitbart because we're on your side and we're going to fight for you. So this is sort of Bannon, as much as he is a terrible person, he's also a very smart person. And Trump is somebody that you can easily play. Since Trump is very dumb and very weak-minded and not strategic whatsoever, having somebody like Bannon, who Trump sees as somebody who is intelligent, put out a message like this lets Trump know that he's on his side and that we're going to fight for you. But at the same time, the message from the other writer with the #war appears to at least imply that if Trump doesn't listen to this Bannon alt-right wing, that they will push back on him. So it'll be curious to see how much influence Bannon and Breitbart and the alt-right in general will have over Trump with Bannon no longer within the White House. And when bringing up Breitbart, I feel like it's important to mention that this organization only has as much power as it does because of the funding behind it. Bannon has ample access to funding through his close relationships with conservative billionaire Bob Mercer and other major Republican donors. So Robert Mercer and the Mercer family are the big funders behind Ted Cruz. And when Ted Cruz's campaign didn't really go so well, they moved on to Donald Trump. And this family is the main reason why Ted Cruz had to switch from not supporting Trump at the RNC to then calling for him during the campaign in this embarrassing photo. And the Mercer family also supported the rise of Steve Bannon and Kellyanne Conway and campaigned for them to get into the Trump White House. Now, the other connection to Bannon, of course, is the fact that the Mercer family partly owns Breitbart. So Breitbart wouldn't exist, at least the way it is now, if it wasn't for the fact that the Mercer family has put a ton of money into it, and they believe in Steve Bannon and his vision. So expect Breitbart and Bannon to have this reignited relationship, where Bannon is back online pushing his typical alt-right ideology. But if Trump doesn't listen, then they're going to criticize him. But if Trump plays nice, then Bannon and Breitbart will also play nice. So what direction will it go in is kind of anyone's guess at this point. It really depends on how much power Bannon will still hold over Trump after he's now no longer in the White House.